Hello, welcome back to Mantel Farm for our weekly apiary update here on YouTube with myself Josh and experienced beekeeper Roger. In this week's video we take a look at our newly united colony to see how they're getting on. Don't forget, if you've got any questions or suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below.
No, I'm just mumbling away, as I do.
As you do. Who's off?
Well, I'm 71 next birthday. Why wouldn't I ramble on?
They're still bringing in that orange golden pollen.
Well, that's good.
So that is good, isn't it?
I suppose. I mean, the next big thing is the ivy, of course.
Yeah. When's that start?
Down here is a fairly serious business well, usually the first ivy blossoms I see are at Westfield when I go to the show, which is usually about the second week in September, beginning of the second week in September, and round here it's about a week, 10 days to a fortnight later.
Right.
Because we're nearer the sea, I think. So we have a more maritime moderated climate.
That's right.
Greater wax moth, female, I would judge by the size of it.
Oh yes. Is it going to be a squish?
Oh,
we
I missed it.
So, what we do feeding these 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
So I would think that, I mean, if we wanted to, we could stop now because they probably got. Well, I would hope we've achieved what we were hoping to achieve, which was getting the frames drawn out.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I say, the next thing is going to be the ivy, which they'll fill up lots of spaces with ivy.
Gosh, they're taking that, haven't they?
Stuff, yeah. That needs taking off and giving a wash again, I think.
The nightmare they glued it down.
There's a couple stuck in the propolis that have been squashed and where they've got between the feeder and the cover board. Anyway, there you go. And now we can't do anything with it because they're all in the way. Right, we'll leave them propped up there. Let them get on with it. Right, okay. So here we are then. Let's see what we've got.
See if we've got these frames drawn out this week.
Well, there should be a lot more food in there than there was previously. Yeah, I mean, that's all syrup in that side. Yeah. That's the outer one. Bigger patch of it on the inside. Quite a big, quite a good frame of readily available stores there. Well, I know this is. I still haven't drawn it right to the bottom yet though. Although that is the outside one, I suppose. So
yeah.
Maybe they're gonna take their time with that one. And that's actually quite heavy, and it's got.
Yeah, it's got brood in there.
That's a patch of sealed brood, both sides, surrounded by lots of syrup.
Yeah.
Bit of sealed at the top corner there, which is all they had in this frame last time we examined it. So, the syrup is doing a lot of good here. Again, we've got what was here last week, which is the sealed stuff, and then we've got all this fresh, which goes almost right to the bottom of that one. It's all continuing to happen. So what we need to do now is, I'm not seeing a lot of Varroa. A lot of deformed wing or anything.
No.
But there are obviously still going to be Varroa in there, so we need to get rid of them, so that they can get, well, at least a couple of brood cycles before the winter with relatively speaking no Varroa in the colony, so that we get good, strong, uninfested winter bees. Once the ivy comes in, it's it's a solid supply of ivy from the time it starts to flower right up till Christmas.
Wow.
And yes, it does crystallise really fast in the combs, but the bees don't mind that because they can deal with it later on. It doesn't bother them, and also it means it gives them something to do with all the condensation that collects on the inside of the hive in the winter. Then a bit of condensation is probably a good thing because it saves them having to go out in the cold and wet and horrible weather.
Yeah.
And probably get too cold to get back.
There's a lot of syrup in that one.
There's a lot of syrup in that one.
But there's still
a bit of brood at the top.
Still sort of left it the bottom bit.
Still left the bottom bit. I think they've actually drawn a little more on that one. I'm not absolutely certain, but I think they've sort of pulled it out a little bit down at the bottom there.
That's beautifully fluorescent, isn't it? With
the lovely coloured pollen, that.
Oh, look at that. What do you reckon that is?
I don't know.
There's an abundance of it, isn't there?
Must be quite a lot of it. There's a lot of those corn marigolds out at the moment.
Oh, yes.
Which are...
That's true.
Possibly a source, I don't know. But I'm going to change sides so I'm not reaching right across to get the frames out.
Yeah.
As they move that nectar out, or they eat it or whatever, I mean the stuff that's in amongst the brood they'll probably be having for immediate consumption or more or less immediate consumption, and so those cells will become vacant and available. I'll look in there. I don't think there's anything in there, it's just a cup. I suppose having so much stores, fresh syrup in there is possibly kind of reducing the space temporarily where the queen can lay, which is possibly quite a good thing, because if we're going to treat, we want the Varroa to be exposed to the treatment.
That's right, yeah.
So if they're on the bees rather than in the cells, because there aren't that many cells with young larvae in that they can dive into to hide, then it's possibly a good thing. And there's the queen on the sort of third of the way up on the...
There she is.
Oh, we've got eggs almost to the bottom of this one.
Oh, that's good. She is lovely, isn't she?
Yeah.
Lovely queen.
Oh look, we've had a trickle. Where did that all come from?
Lapping it up there.
Yeah, well, one of them is.
What? Yeah.
There's one stood in it.
Oh no, there they go.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my home-built adaptations. So you've got the proper bee space on that side for your standard national, and on that side you've got a bigger space so that you can do treatments, and then after your treatments you turn it over again, so you put the proper bee space back on.
Yep.
And then you can put an insulation pad in there which keeps them warm all through the winter.
So is that an eek it's attached there pretty much?
It's actually attached, yeah. I'm doing this wrong because I'm naughty. I should be holding the thing like a scraper at right angles, which I did on the first one, and it's better that way anyway.
You can see the difference, can't you? So
that
that side is smooth, yeah. Because you put the downward pressure on it, can't you?
But it won't pick up any grain if you hold it upright.
Yeah.
Which it will do if you chisel away at it. If you are doing this on the hive, do make sure you're holding the thing down when you do it, because otherwise you slaughter dozens of bees, which is never a good thing. Right, okay, so we need a Apiguard thing.
Apiguard. Yes, one of those.
a little tray of thymol gel. Right, so we take the corner with a special hangy over bit and we peel the lid back to expose the gel, and there it is.
Yeah.
And we take the board off again. It's supposed to go directly over the brood, but at the moment we can't do that because the brood's there and there. We've got one of these. So I suppose if we put it like that, it's as nearly over the brood as we can get it.
Yeah.
So that bit's over a bit of brood there and that bit's over a bit of brood there. And
they'll come and get it, won't they?
They'll paddle through it anyway, so because they don't like it, so they carry it away eventually. Usually quite quickly, actually. But it turns to vapour, and they pick the crystals up in their mouths, and the gel gets on their feet, so it's sort of spread all around the hive, and where it's spread as the gel or the crystals, it evaporates into the atmosphere of the hive, and I think it works by preventing the Varroa from breeding in some way that we don't, well, I don't really understand. I believe that's how it works, how it's supposed to work. Right, so there we got the tray, we got the Apiguard on. We put the yeek on to let them finish off the stuff in the feeder.
Yep. So that Apiguard, we check that next week, and then that's what, 2 weeks worth, is it? The first one.
I think it's 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then you put another one on, don't you?
And then you put another one on.
And that stays on till they finish it, I think, isn't it? Or
And
6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
4 weeks, yeah.
It's usually gone before 6 weeks is up, in my experience. But I suppose it will depend on the bees as much as anything. You know, if they really don't like it, they'll clear it out in no time. And if you've only got a few bees, then it will take them longer.
Yeah.
If you've got a lot of bees, which there seem to be quite a few in this box at the moment, then they'll probably get rid of it all in under a week. Oh my God, we're stuck.
Oh. A lot of bees.
Look, we got a lot of bees in the roof space. You horrible little monsters, what are you doing up there?
They go up there, and every week we think maybe they're doing something productive, but they don't seem to be.
They're not, they're just hanging about, aren't they?
Yeah.
Come on you lot, getting down them big holes. That's what them big holes are there for.
They're just coming up. It's like
Just falling over
kamikaze
the
bees.
side, aren't they? Gormless lot. I mean, if you have the super at the top, then they might put food contaminated with the treatment in the super, but if the super's underneath, then they're going to be more inclined to empty that and put it up.
Yeah.
Rather than...
Because they've got to travel across it, haven't they?
Yeah, anyway, we'll see what we can see with this rabble. And that one they've decided they don't like the wax stuff, chewing it away. Oh, you little darlings.
Do you think they're taking it off that one and put it straight on the next one? Because the next one's actually active, isn't it?
Yeah, the next one's actually active. I mean, they will do that to an extent. They do, you know, they don't just use the wax that they extrude themselves. They do nibble it off the foundation. We could steal that one and extract it.
Yeah. We've managed one so far.
The next one's done as well. But these ones were drawn already
Yeah.
when we put the super on, and the intention was that we would let them make a start on these two and then move them out to get them to draw more combs in the centre. Come on, girls, get off. And this is one occasion when a bee brush might be useful, but even then, on that side where you've got some uncapped cells, the brush gets into it and it gets honey on the end of it, and that means that then you stick bees to the brush and you keep brush them off, and they get stuck and they get rolled and they get angry, and they drown.
Yeah.
And you get more and more honey, and the brush then needs washing before you use it again because it's all it's all sticky and horrible, and you can't. I mean, you know, bee brushes to my mind are a real nightmare, unless your combs are all completely sealed. And even then, you have to be careful, because if you brush too hard, you can take the cappings off. So you know, it's better to just chase the bees off. I mean, you can blow them if you want to. They don't usually care much for being blown at, but it gets them off the combs. You could smoke them, but that makes your honey smell smoky, taste smoky.
Yeah.
Which, you know, might not be a bad thing. Some people might like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Oh, look, Dan's in it.
All right.
Hello, Dan.
Don't eat
Hard
it.
at work, see.
Don't eat it. You're not to eat it, Dan.
Why not?
I could say it's
That's
not vegan, so
our
you'd be alright, but
Our entire year's honey crop, that is. From 3 hives and 3 nukes.
we've done really well.
Half a frame. Half a super frame.
Well, might be another candidate.
Next candidate for hilarity and silliness.
They shake off that a lot easier, don't they? So they haven't got their heads in the cell.
Yeah, they do. They, you know, once if it's all sealed, they shake really easily off it, because obviously they can't get a grip on anything. Right, come on, ladies, off you go. Right, can you take that front and I'll take the back, and we'll just put it down on the roof.
Yep.
And then we'll quickly whip the super in place of it, and then put it back onto here.
Shall I move that out of the way for a minute?
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah,
right there,
there's
won't
not
it?
many bees left on it, are there? Alright.
Yep. Over we go. Oh, the huffer.
Have a huffer.
Is it puffing?
It's huffing a little bit, but not astonishingly well. But there you go. And
Come on, ladies. Off you go, off the edges. I think those two are.
those two aren't going anywhere under their own steam, are they?
No. Right, girls, back we go.
Whopping the old Apiguard.
So we didn't get it on camera on the last hive, but if people are treating their bees, it is good practice and quite important actually that they record the batch numbers of the treatments on their record, isn't it?
Yep. Right, girls, stand aside. Come on. I don't want anyone squashed when I put this jollop in.
No.
And you know what you're like for not moving your feet? I think that's on.
I think we're smoking.
Yep, we are definitely smoking. Right,
Whoa.
here we go.
Well, this is the exciting hive, isn't it?
This is the exciting one. This is the one that we put the nuke in to replace the queen. And they made queen cells, and we left them with one, and they tore it down before it emerged. So
That's right.
we thought, right, you little monsters, we'll fix your wagon and put a whole different set of bees in. And I have to say that last night when I opened it up to put the bee escape in, the bees were very nice.
Yeah.
unlike what they were like before.
Well, it was only a week before that, and they were awful, weren't
Yeah. Right, okay, so if you come round and take that side, I'll lever this bit up.
they? Yeah.
And we take the two supers
Together.
at the same time, alright?
Where are you lifting? Oh, lift from here, yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
Stick them on the roof.
There we go.
And they're probably pretty well clear of bees by now, I'd imagine. We take the cover board off. And there's bees dropping all over the place.
Oh, look.
And they're just
Well,
not at all bothered by the fact that we're
we're here.
here. Unlike a week ago when they'd been all over us.
Yeah.
Right, so we now got to get them off there.
You can make them. They'll be happy
So-
now. This will be a test.
I mean, I did shake some yesterday and they didn't seem to be that bothered, but it's a little bit less warm and sunny today, but anyway, we'll give it a go. Well, that's most of them off. I'm now going to put the board down by the entrance so the rest of them can walk in. The scheme is to basically put this box underneath that box. So I think what we'll do is we'll pick this up as it is
Yeah. Put it. What? Put it.
with the queen excluder and put it down over there,
Yeah.
and then we'll take that one and put it there momentarily.
Yeah.
Uh,
Put that one back.
Well, actually, no. We'll leave that one where it is for now, and then when we found the queen in this one, we'll be ready to put the queen into that box,
Yeah.
and then we can do the transfer of the boxes. So this one's underneath, and that one's on top with the queen in it, and a load of empty frames. So that should work, I think.
Okay, we've got a plan.
It shouldn't be too difficult because all that's sticking it down is the newspaper,
So we want the
which
queens.
will, well, tear off. So we take that away and
We're
put
going
it
just
down
here,
there.
like this.
But I mean, their nature is utterly different.
It is, yeah. So they're not.
I mean, you've got one round buzzing round
Yeah.
your ear in the microphone, but last week it would have been several.
Well, they're not flying off as you're peeling off that newspaper, are they? I mean,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be colorating that last time.
It's quite well covered with bees, I would say. That frame, that's
That is definitely covered in bees.
a
really
well
good-
covered frame of stores. And obviously they're finding plenty of nectar because that is just full.
Yeah.
Apart from the arc over the top, that's just nectar in there.
We didn't feed them, did we?
No,
So-
we haven't fed this one.
Or the nuke, I don't think, the little one. Might have done a little. I think we did a little bit, but not. They're a lot calmer, aren't they?
Oh yes. They wouldn't have put up with that a week ago like that. But yeah, I mean they're just utterly different, and that one there's got a Varroa mite on it, look. On the first segment from the thorax. On the right hand side. Yeah, I noticed that when I did that I shook them twice, and it was the second shake when they fell off. It wasn't the first one. The first one they sort of start to run about a bit, and that means that they're not so attached to the frame, I think. Oh, hang on, there she is. Found her.
Found her, yeah.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh, she is sort of buried, isn't she?
Crawling, trying to get out of sight. Come on, darling, we need you. Down she goes.
Okay.
Right, okay. Well, I think, basically, if anybody is wondering, if they swarm now, that's damned hard luck
Yeah.
on them and on us. We've done all we can,
Yeah.
and if they swarm now, then they're very unlikely to get a queen produced and mated now. So
Just put them
basically
together.
they'll just either have to be united with somebody else, which is going to be difficult because it's a different box from the others, or they're just going to die out over the winter. Or maybe, you know, the other alternative is that I bring a nuke in from my apiary with a queen in it. But
Oh, that Rog.
yeah,
You see it?
yeah.
She's trying to take. Oh.
Doing well, isn't she?
Yeah, she's. Oh.
Oh. Come on, darling, let me take that from you. You don't want to wear yourself out now, do you?
Yeah.
You've got a whole 6 months of work in front of you.
She's like, I'm not letting that go.
No, I'm not letting that go, she said. All right, well, just in that case, I'll just tear that little bit off and you can take that away with you. There you go.
Hey.
Success.
She's well chuffed. You want to squish anyone? Ready? Over we go.
Oh, up to the floor with it. Well done. Stupid floor. Come on, behave. That's better.
I think that is it, isn't it?
I
Are
think
we
we're
off?
away,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
off.
Yeah, every time you
Okay.
sort of move a floor or separate boxes like this, you know, it's as well to just have an eye out for wax moths because they'll sit out in the dark crevices and corners, just being
Lurking.
out of sight. Takes the queen excluder off.
And these are actually quite a pleasure to do this with now, aren't they?
Yep. And ooh,
Okay.
got my finger caught.
Oh, you're alright.
Trapped a drone above the
Oh,
queen excluder or two.
we're still
They're still wriggling. There's a couple of dead ones over there, look.
wiggling. Oh yeah.
Ah,
I doubt it'll last very long in there. They're probably kicking them all out now, aren't they? Or starting to think about it.
well, I mean, some people, some. I think Amanda was saying in the newsletter that she's been seeing them being kicked out, even beginning of last month.
Really?
Basically, as soon as the flow stopped.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you know, it'll happen, I suppose, when they're not thinking about superseding or anything.
Another one. Come here. Look at you.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, if they haven't got queen cells on the go,
Yeah.
then they won't have any use for drones this time of year anyway.
No.
So they will get the boot. Right,
All right.
and then we pick that up and
Take it over here.
take it over there and jiggle it into
Position.
position.
Supers. Do we pop them back on?
Uh,
Have we got any bees in here? Or?
I don't know. We didn't look, did we? Perhaps we should have looked before we started messing about. Oh, we'll leave them alone. Leave them as they are because
They're going through quite a bit at the moment, aren't they?
we haven't got the extractor here yet. So
No. And then when we take these off next week, we can pop the Apiguard on, can't we?
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. There we go. Up we go. And down. And there we are. Yes.
Still a tower.
It's still a tower. And we'll pop the roof on.
Look.
I don't want to trap them. Get out. Don't go in there. Whatever
Don't
you
go
do.
in. Don't go in.
Hey. Oh, that's that jobbed.
Yep. It's always nice when it appears to work. It's
Yeah.
always distressing when it all goes wrong. So yeah, hopefully we've got a
sorted
winner
it.
there.
Yeah.
That all seems to be going to plan at the moment.
For a change.
Yeah, well, I mean, once you sort of, he said, touch wood. Once you get it going to plan, it tends to more or less keep to the plan. it's just getting it all to that stage where, you know, you've got nice queens, nice bees, everybody's just happy and doing what they want to do, more or less, and then it'll carry on until they swarm, and you have to sort of start thinking about it again. But basically they should be fine now. Hopefully they won't swarm again. Well, they haven't swarmed at all this year as far as we know.
No.
But they did try a few times.
They did.
Yeah, so hopefully we got a nicer sort of more stable queen and more stable bees in there now. And it's certainly a lot more stable than they were last week, and that's, you know, only a week ago.
That's amazing, that change.
You know, I mean, there was no sort of jiggling about on the frames or any of that old malarkey.
I haven't even got any stings on my microphone.
And it's actually a lot less sort of concomitant weather today than it was last week, because at least last week it was, you know, we had broken cloud, we had a little bit of brightness and sunshine occasionally.
Yeah.
And today it's just been completely dull and overcast. I mean, all the bees appear to be at home, or most of them. There's very few going in and out, and yet they're as good as gold.
You've got baby one on you. Is that baby? Come here. Yeah. Oh no, don't fall off. Oh.
Staggering out like a drunk.
Yeah, she's very slow. Oh, she's coming down. Here she comes. Oh, got someone else coming now. Little one.
You better take her back round and drop her on the... Oh!
Not on the ground.
On the ground, no, don't drop her on the concrete. Come on, you. Up we go, come on. It's a problem when you're wearing these rubber gloves,
They're slippery, aren't they?
they're slippery, especially when wet. Right, I'll go and put her on the landing board of the Polynational.
There she goes.
There she goes, and she's, oh god, she's been examined minutely by the guard bees because she just fell out of the sky onto them.
Oh,
But,
they're
no
doing
doubt
their job.
She'll be alright.
Well, we'll see everybody next week then.
Yep.
Thank you for watching our weekly update video here at Mantel Farm. If you enjoy what we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share our videos.